whoa, slow down, sit down, and let's get a beverage of your choice. You're gonna wanna hear about the new study that UPitt just released. Don't even think about scrolling. I know you're thinking about it, but this information is way too important. Okay, now that you're seated, the University of Pittsburgh has collaborated with the Pennsylvania Health Department to conduct a new study on the relationship between fossil gas infrastructure and the health effects it causes in children and mothers. The study posed the question, does living near unconventional gas development activities or other environmental hazards in southwestern Pennsylvania increase the risk for specific health issues? Counties that were studied included Allegheny, Armstrong, Beaver, Butler, Fayette, Greene, Washington, and Westmoreland. And Washington County is the heaviest fracked county in Pennsylvania. The study was done from 2021 to 2023, but they looked at medical records from 1990 all the way to 2020. Don't scroll yet, I'm about to tell you the findings of the study. The study found that a child living within 1 mile of a gas well was 5 to 7 times more likely to develop lymphoma, a rare cancer, than a child at least 5 miles from a gas well. Children diagnosed with any of the 4 studied cancers, so leukemia, lymphoma, a brain tumor, or bone tumors, were 4 times more likely to live within a half mile of a gas well. The risk of asthma attacks increased for people with asthma living near oil and gas wells. Those with asthma had 4 to 5 times the risk of an asthma attack when they lived near a well in their production phase. When symptoms got worse, cases that required medication primarily affected children aged 5 to 13, and those that led to emergency department visits and hospitalizations primarily affected adults aged 19 to 45. We also found that birth weight is heavily impacted. Mothers living within 10 miles of a well in their production phase were more likely to have a newborn with a lowered birth weight and size for gestational age. So the baby usually is born an ounce below the healthy weight. Inhaling air pollution like PM 2.5, which comes from a variety of sources during the well operation and production, has been linked to premature births. All this being said, there are things the government can put in place to protect people from oil and gas infrastructure. A setback is the minimum distance required between a specific oil and gas infrastructure, so a well pad, a compressor station, and then an existing structure, boundary, natural resource, or any other area that needs protection in the interest of health, safety, and the general welfare of the public. And these structures could be homes, buildings, schools, places of worship, parks, anywhere where you're going and frequenting and enjoying your life. Right now, oil and gas infrastructure is within 500 feet, yes, 500 feet of homes, schools, and buildings. But we're asking to have it moved back to at least 3,000 feet for unconventional wells, 9,000 feet for compressor stations, gas-fired power plants, ethane cracker plants, and at least 16,000 feet for shale gas processing facilities. Yes, that is a very big number compared to 500 feet. If this UPitt study has shown us one thing, is that Pennsylvania needs to enact protective buffers and setbacks to protect all of our communities statewide. You can submit a comment to your senator. The link is in our bio, and we have a suggested comment that you can submit.